This website is a new website to me. It was actually shared with me a couple days ago called TeacherMade.com. From what I've seen of it so far, great little tool for creating documents and interactive worksheets and using existing PDF files or pictures and documents that you already have to create interactive web sheets that students can actually enter their answer into. So, to explain that better, we're going to jump right into it. And I would suggest to start, you sign up. And when you do sign up, use your school issued Google account. And that way it's connected to your Google Classroom because you'll see shortly that that is an integrated tool as well. And I've already signed up. So I'm going to sign in. And you'll see I have one assignment already created. And I basically just created that to see how things work. Uh, just footnote, I've just started into this, and there's a lot of features I have not learned myself yet, but I wanted to mainly get this out there and share with you so that you would at least have some basic tools to start with, and then you could learn about it from there and maybe share that information with me. So we're going to create a worksheet, and you can do that from a couple locations here, one at the top and one under the actions tab. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to call this synergize, which is a word that we're using quite often around here for the past year or so. Um, and you might want to add more description than this to yours, or even more of a title to yours. But for the sake of this short little activity, I wanted to quickly add something there. And I also want to note that right now, when I create worksheet, it seems to create a blank worksheet. Now, if I want to take an existing one, even though it advertises that it should um, take any document, even if you create it right away. It doesn't seem to do that unless I just haven't figured that out yet. So for now, I'm going to take an existing document and I'm always going to drag any existing document or image that I have into this little blank space. So I'm going to grab this. This is my background and I add that. And now you see my background is this picture. Now I'm going to create the worksheet and I'm going to add some fields here for students to answer some questions. In this case, you'll see several options for short answer, drop down, paragraph answers, some matching true false, etc., including some math and other things there, which is great. They give you a lot of little tools to choose from for adding some question types. In this case, though, for this assignment, I'm only going to use the short answer field. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to choose an important word out of this that the student should know by now because we've been talking about synergizing for some time now. I'm going to go ahead and drag a box out over this. And if you don't drag it quite right, that's okay. You can select it again and you can resize that text field so that it fits relatively well in that space. And I'm going to do the same with the next paragraph or bullet point. And I'm just going to highlight the last word this time. And again, resize that. This takes a little bit of time, but it's really not too difficult. And then I'm going to create yet a third short answer field. And in this case, I'm going to highlight together with a team. So we're emphasizing groups, team, um, them, groups, so that they understand they're working with more than just themselves. This is an independent effort. And in this case, with this short little worksheet, I'm finished. It's not um, something that is going to self grade yet because, as I said before, there's some things that I haven't learned or spent enough time playing around with in here yet to learn how to do. But you're pretty much finished with what I want to do with this document, and it's auto saving just like a Google document would. So to see this or to view this, I'm going to go back into my worksheets now, and you'll see that the Synergize worksheet has been added. And I can even preview this before I create an assignment to see what it's going to look like for the students that are going to be using this. So I can click in each of these fields now and notice they can't change anything anywhere else in the document, but they can enter their answers in these fields. And they have some tools for resizing fonts and some other things up here as well that come in handy. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to close that out. And I'm now going to create this as an assignment for my students. And the one thing I do want to do, again, I stated I haven't messed much with the grading options, but using a Google account is something I want every student to do using their student issued Google account to do this assignment. And they have to log in to do that. And then I'm going to create the assignment. Notice what happens next. You're given a link. You can add that link, copy it, and then paste it in, or you can just go, if you want to share that to Google Classroom, you can share it to Google Classroom there, and then choose the class. I'm going to select test class, and I'm going to maybe go over here and reassign the point value. This is a pretty short worksheet, so I'm going to make it 10 points and add my dates and all that stuff if I'd like. But you see the assignment actually attached here. I'm not going to provide any instructions for this, but you would. And now I'm going to assign it. Once I assign it, I'm going to go in and view it. It's going to ask me again um, to view that from there. And once I do that, you'll see both in the stream and in the classwork, you see this synergize assignment. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to select the document and I have to open it with my Google account. And once I do that, now I get these fields where I can answer my questions. And if you have a incorrect part of speech there or an incorrect word in its place, if that's set up to grade, I'm assuming it's going to automatically see that and say, no, that's not correct, and therefore count that wrong. But we'll leave that wrong for now, and we'll finish the rest of this sheet out, and we'll say, I'm done. Now, you also have the option to save for later. And the student could come back, I'm assuming, in and into that same document and finish it. But once they're finished, they need to select I'm done. Note that the worksheet now is being submitted. And if I actually go back while that's doing that, I see that it's actually here. This was Mark White that did this on December 8th at 1:21, which is the current time. And now I'm going to view those responses. So I can actually see, even though it's a little sloppy here, I can actually see, and I'm assuming over time they'll clean that up some, that my answers have been added. Now, there's some other things up here as well, and you can go ahead and add the score by hand. I'm assuming the auto grade features of this, which are advertised, make it much easier. But for this project, we've done a pretty good job of just kind of summing up some of the things that you can do with the TeacherMade website. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you can create with some of the existing materials that you have some digital worksheets that can still be graded um, without any use of pencil or paper in this case. So again, hopefully that was helpful. Share your feedback. I appreciate it.